You're listening to Off-Road Garage Podcast, and here are Jason and Jim.
And we're back. XPDN2.
Whatever. Yes.
Yes.
It's awesome. And we're back.
So we left them hanging for a week.
Maybe.
Whatever. However many days we left them hanging
Episode
for.
70. This is going to be episode 71.
We were talking about Riptide Ride,
Yeah.
which was epic.
Yes. We made it back to the campground.
I think we were talking about how great Grand Island was, and we were left them in hint and suspense about the majesty that is pure Michigan.
You're right. We do have to touch on that because, again, it was a huge list of Comanche Man's first.
Yeah.
It was majestic AF.
AF for show.
And
I wish he was here. I wish we could call him and have him just like describe it, because when he describes it with the excitement in his voice,
the amazingness that was Comanche Man's.
I believe it's like,
it sums it up with.
I saw 13 bald eagles under a rainbow and a great island with waterfalls while I was on that 1,600 horsepower jet boat. And he just like gets
that summed up our trip. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did Grand Island, which 35-mile island in Michigan off Munising. And it's, if you guys at all know about ice climbing, it's actually rated as one of the best places to ice climb in the area and like this part of the country, except for like, Colorado and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the waterfalls that we saw off the cliff faces on Grand Island freeze. And so when Superior freezes, you can actually use Superior as a base and ice climb the waterfalls. And it's huge. That's where the ice caves, some of the best ice caves are at to go check out. Super amazing.
Okay.
So
because they were awesome.
There's campsites on there, but talking to some of the guys, I think Dr. Deathwobble was saying it, you got to book the campsites like 2 or 3 years in advance.
Yeah, that was when I went up there we did the pontoon boat tour. That's what he said, that it was 2 years ahead.
Because you can literally camp on a rock outcropping over Lake Superior where the sun sets.
Yeah.
And just there's no power, there's nothing. Yeah, just amazingness. Yeah. Which I might have to try to schedule myself for one of those. It sounds pretty rad, like something I would go do.
Yeah.
Because they float you across on like the boat, you ferry over, and then you go experience Grand Island.
Or you need a boat.
Kayak. I'll call Kelly and go kayak over there.
That's true. Yeah. Kelly kayak you over there.
Yeah.
He's been there a few times.
Man style. So we did the whole side, and I'm pretty sure that since we were the first group of the year, they opened up early for us.
They gave us a little extra.
And
he had no schedule to keep, like he said, and he gave us a little extra.
And you can tell he loves driving that boat around.
It's a jet ski. It's a 40-foot, 1,600 horse jet ski. I don't know anyone who wouldn't like driving the thing around. That does 360s.
But he's kind of a surgeon with it, because he was coming into those caves hot.
Yeah.
And then hitting the reverse thrust. Like, shock, you're not going to hit the wall. Surprise. Like,
yeah, you're not going to die today.
Thought we were for a second.
Yeah.
But we kept seeing fledgling eagles, like, this year's hatch of eagle. We saw a bunch of mature bald eagles. It was, we saw, like, they said 13 eagles. I don't know if I counted that
majestic
many.
AF, bro.
But it was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a rainbow.
It was a rainbow as we come back.
I'm pretty sure there's eagles mating under the rainbow.
Yeah, it's super and then with 1,600 horsepower screaming. It was like freedom and AF and
going fast across the water.
Listen to White Snake or whatever we had
which
on.
Which was surprisingly calm, I thought, for
very glassy for Superior. Yeah.
What was going on that day?
Yeah.
The weather wasn't. It was really weird. Mm-hmm. It was like the weather was kind of overcast. I thought it was going to be cold.
Yeah.
Being out on Superior, but on certain angles, it was like warm.
Yeah.
And then we would turn, it was like cold, and then we turn and be warm again. It was really
It was like
weird.
The deeper the water you got over, the colder, like just radiated the coldness.
Yeah. And then we got the island, and we got like the heat off the island.
Yeah. It was nice. Definitely if you're in the area, I'm sure if 21 is in like 20, with people being sick and being stuck, it's probably going to book up.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be up in the Munising area, make the time, take the trip, do it. Totally worthwhile to check out.
Absolutely.
Be prepared to get damp. I brought my camera in a dry bag. I probably would not do that again just because you never really had a chance to take good photos that I could think of.
You didn't, but the photographer was on his game.
Armin was killing it, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his giant,
he had his Canon Mark V and his Sony cinema camera out there.
Yeah.
Like a boss.
Yeah. Taking wins. Back like a champ.
Taking splashes. You see him just like throw his whole body over the camera to protect it from the water. When the water came in that one time, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. dude was on point.
Yeah.
Pro.
Shout out to Armin, because I think we'll have to do shout out in every one of our episodes to him, like henceforth, because he's just amazing.
The man.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, Armin, like the little ghost just run through the woods. That there he is.
He's like a ninja.
Yeah.
That dude.
Yeah, and just next thing you know, he's doing like lifestyle shots behind you. Like, where'd you come from, bro? Like, oh, I'm just grabbing the scene. I'm like, oh, okay.
When they didn't email with some of those photos on there, I was like, I don't even remember him being there.
Right.
Like, normally I'm pretty good with my surroundings and who's pointing
Not
things
with
at me.
Armin.
Like, what was that?
He just like smoke bomb.
Yeah.
There he is.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Snapped the photo. Done.
So we finished the rad boat ride, and it was nice. I was thankful for it. Thanks to PJ for setting that up, because PJ Jeep Life made that happen.
That was huge.
It was rad. It was worth the extra cash that it took to get to it, because it was like it was one of those other things.
A little bonus. Yeah.
Well, it was one of those things that we talked about where it's like, hey, we're doing this thing. We can't tell you about it. Send us some money. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to go on a cheese tour factory. Like, I don't know what it's going to be. But PJ set up a rad.
What if I don't want to watch the lady make the pasties?
Right. It was a rad event.
It was awesome. Well,
and I think Rancho covered dinner that night too. So shout out to Rancho for that. And then shout out to Pete for setting that event up, because it was amazing.
Yep.
And I didn't catch the lady's name, but shout out to her, because she was chasing us all over Christ Creation to set up that dinner, because she was going to meet us at the campsite originally. Then we were running late because of the fuel stop, so she's going to meet us in the middle, and then she just met us at the boat ride.
Yeah. All set up, ready to go.
Yeah, so it was super rad, delicious. It was a great day all the way around.
Yeah.
And then back to camp for that night was actually our only night with no amenities.
Yeah, that's right, because we did. We camped out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so we drove back through Munising, passing, if you know the area, past Munising Falls, past Sandpoint Road, and we were going back, I believe, east out of town for a little ways towards the Pictured Rocks National Lake Shore. I think we were about 7 miles from that. And then next thing I know, we pulled off into this trail.
A field.
And then Cora gets on the radio and goes, hey, the original campsite is gross. It's overgrown. There's bugs everywhere. Like, what about this spot we found?
Yeah.
So then she cuts off the group, gets up to the front of the group, and takes us to this like really open field. And they were like, just don't park close to the road, because side-by-sides might come ripping through.
Right.
And then like 25 minutes later, side-by-sides come ripping through.
Yeah, that was rowdy.
But yeah, we had a nice setup that night. Hung out, chatted, kind of recapped the day.
Really good.
A lot of people were really smoked at that point from the day.
It was a long day.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Worth it for sure. But now we're dusty and dirty. There's no bathrooms. There's no. It's basically, if you want to use a potty, you better use a tree or have something with you.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we didn't have to use anything that night. So all I brought was a stool with a hole cut in it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. We didn't have to, use anything like that.
I'm thankful for the cot that night, because I'm not usually a cot sleeper. I just sleep on the ground when I camp, but like not having to have all those sticks in my back.
Not doing that again.
That was good. It was good.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next morning, I think they were like, before they went to bed, they were like, I think we're going to do like at 8 a.m. tomorrow or 9 a.m. tomorrow. And I was like, okay, good.
No, it was 8, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to wake up Martin.
Yeah.
And we kind of did.
We
Sorry,
yelled
Martin.
from our tent, like,
Yeah.
wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kicked his tent. And I got I'm like, all right, he's up.
He's awake. He's alive at least. Yeah.
I tried.
Which gave us more time to eat.
That was a good night, though, because
Yeah.
that was that second night, and the friendship started to build a little bit. We talked to Cora and Torq-Masters and things like that. Kind of get a little info on what they got going on. And
I think I had, like, she was rad. Her and Eric were super rad.
Yep.
Talking to them about Torq-Masters and how they met on a rock crawling competition. Like, they were competitive.
Dude, that whole story was awesome. Really I can't wait to talk to him about it, honestly. Right. We're going to have him on the show for sure and, have them tell us.
And then listening to, like, Armin's story.
Dude, that was rad.
That was, like, inspirational and, like.
Dude, we get to Armin's story. We get to know Martin a little better.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool to listen to everybody's, like, why they wheel, why they're here.
Yeah.
Why they're part of
it got
either.
deep.
Yeah. super deep under the stars, and like everybody's like really feeling their emotions. We're all smoked from the day on the trail. Great food. Yeah, dude, it was good. It was good. If it almost put a lot of stuff into perspective, like how lucky we are for some of the stuff that we have.
Yeah.
And then just like the friendships, how lucky we were to be a part of this thing.
Absolutely.
To meet like Martin, to meet Cora, to meet Eric, to meet the guys from All Pro.
Yeah.
It was just super rad to like sit there and be like, wow, well, you're from Cali, you're from India, you're from Colorado, you're from New York.
From the other side of the country to the other side of the world.
And we're all here for a common thing, and everybody here is rad.
Yeah.
There wasn't a person there that would be like, go away.
Yeah.
Every person there had a story. Every person there was personable. I think every person there wanted to help. If you would have got it broken down, we would have had tools from every Jeep.
Absolutely.
And it was great.
Jeep, any Toyota.
Yeah, every Toyota. Sorry, Toyota guys. I'm lumping you guys in every vehicle. I'll put that from now on.
Every vehicle. Because it was a mix.
3 tacos, 3 gladiators, some JTs, some JLs, or some JLs, some JKs, and a ZJ and an MJ.
You got it all down.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done that. Props to you. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was an awesome night.
It was super good, dude. Good night's sleep. Morning broke early.
It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was night it rained a little bit.
It did.
So you had the pitter patter
nice.
on the tent, which is like super soothing.
I had my like city guy cheater fan going.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh, my D battery powered fan running next to my ear. Like, God dang, I just need some constant noise. This is too quiet.
Once the rain came, I was like, yes.
I can't stand to listen to my brain talk. I gotta drown this out with some motor sounds.
So after that, that was a great night's sleep. Then morning broke. And she was toasty. When morning broke that day, Ken was making breakfast for us again.
Right off the get again.
Yeah.
And ready to go.
Yeah. Up early, like he falls out of the tent right into a scuttle and starts cooking.
Yeah. And then it was right into a driver's meeting, and
yeah.
Tents were down, packed up, and we were hitting the trail.
Hitting the trail again. And thankfully, for the first little bit, the rain helped. So it was not dusty.
Yes.
And that was good.
That was very good.
Because we got smoked the first day with dust.
And then kind of, the afternoon.
And then the second day.
And then, later that second day, we got it bad because at that point it was extremely warm and extremely dusty.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, we can either sweat to death in the Jeep with the windows up or have a cooling, dusty breeze.
Yeah. How do you want it?
Which way do you prefer?
So that was the day that we did a lot of two-tracking.
Yes.
And back roads and fire trails.
The fire trails were rowdy because we had another tire issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Martin.
Poor Martin about had a heart attack from you, dude. Because you had the special prototype self-deflating 37-inch Patagonia.
The porous ply.
Yeah. Which we think we attributed to probably a molding issue with your valve cap.
I think that has to be what it is.
Because it hasn't lost any air since we got home.
So we got off the trail back onto some roadway, and we immediately got hit up on the radio like, hey, check your front tire. I think it's going flat. And we pulled over. I'm like, wow, that is low. I was about 15 PSI when we started. And I'm like, man, it looks like, I don't know, maybe like 10, maybe under a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think who's it from Rancho? Was it Chris?
Chris Gauss.
Chris Gauss came over with his CO2 tank to air it up, and it wouldn't even register on his thing, on his digital gauge. And then when it first registered, it was at 4. So we aired that back up. We figured, all right, well, some of those trails I made wider for everybody.
Yeah.
So maybe I burped a sidewall a little bit, wedging it through some obstacles. But later the day, we kept losing air again.
Yeah.
So we thought maybe there was some debris in the side or in the
bead.
bead.
Yep.
Long story short, well, I'll just go. We determined that it was probably the cap because when we went to leave, to hit the highway home, the tire hadn't deflated, and I forgot to put the cap back on from the night before when I aired it up. I was like, well, I'll air it up now. Maybe hopefully it won't be as deflated in
the morning, right?
And woke up that morning, I was like, the tire's not flat. Well, we're going to a gas station. We'll air it up there. And I got to the gas station and realized, like, I never put the cap back on from the night before. So there must have been debris or a piece of plastic or something in the cap that was somehow. That's the only thing I can attribute, because to this day, a week later, still hasn't lost a pound.
Perfect.
So
good to hear.
there you go, Martin. I wasn't kidding. I wasn't messing with you. I had a little joke to the side. Before we left, I was like, you know how hard it is for me to let the air out of the tire when you're not looking? And he about lost his mind.
Yep.
But that was a joke. I really was losing air.
And that was the day we went to Laken and Land. It's like some madman's design place.
Metal art
Yeah.
display?
Yeah.
Which is really, like, if it was local to this area down here, you'd probably pay a ticket for entry.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, hey, cool, come all right through here and check out the art and the sculptures and everything that I've made out of various machinery and metal. And
Yeah, there's like, you go through this entryway and there's like, yeah, this is made out of like oil drums. This is a dinosaur, and this is an old oil rig, and this is like a thing, and there's like a dog sled made out of sawmill, or like just crazy.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
And we put our sticker on his pole, so if anybody's up there and finds it.
Yeah, like a wood stove kind of deal, and everyone kind of puts their own little logo or sticker on there if you could. And
if you're up that area and you find the sticker, send me a message. I'll send you one.
yeah, I like it.
Like a scavenger hunt.
Bonus
Yeah.
scavenger hunt.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Send me a picture of it, and we'll send you some of our stickers. They were placed there with love.
Yeah.
And we're placed there with all of the sponsors put their stuff up there as well, and the partners in this event put their stuff up there.
Who was to end up getting the
Armin from
Armin.
All Pro, like shimmied up it.
outreach the 7-foot tall Matt from Rancho?
Yeah. Matt was on top of that fire pit trying to get it up there, and Armin like snake crawled up the chimney. Like,
Oh, did he
Yeah.
climb up it?
yeah, like a boss.
Slapped a sticker up there.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his sticker was a good 3 foot above Matt's, which is pretty impressive because Matt, like you said, is 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
I thought I had pictures of it on here. Anyway, that place was cool. It was weird. It was kind of like eclectic, cool, kind of out there, kind of different.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of like mountain bikers there when we were there. They didn't seem very happy to see us, but whatever.
They'll get over it. We may or may not have been on a mountain bike trail.
I don't think we were. That one local guy seemed to think that we were, but it says road on the map. So
His property also kind of butted up to it, and I think he just if we were on mountain bikes, he would have said it was an ATV trail, and if we were on, because we were in Jeeps, he decided it was a mountain bike trail.
if we were on mountain bikes, the dogs would have ate us.
That's true. His dogs were angry.
Yeah, they were not happy campers at all. Yeah, so there's a bunch of rad stickers up there now at Lincoln and Land. I finally found them. They're like all out of order on my phone.
Oh, how did you manage that?
When I uploaded my camera, it goes back in by date,
Gotcha.
so it bumps everything around.
Yeah.
Because I've got pictures from like day 1 from Aaron Down on here still, and they're on day 3.
What day was it you started hanging out the side of the Jeep?
That was day 2.
Day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to
That
get
was
the
awesome.
I had to get the shots, man.
Dedicated to the shot.
Had to get the shot. I'm like, you know what? We promised these folks pictures.
Yeah. And what road were we on? You started hanging it out there, man.
It was just after that crazy guy's property because
Yeah.
of we were in this like rad old growth pine forest, dude. It was like
That's
the cathedral of trees. Like they were just these straight, long, tall pines, and the Jeeps looked so good coming through there.
Yeah.
But I think if we do this ever again, if we're invited again, hint, hint, I might tell somebody in the front and the back, like, hey, I'm just going to jump in, and then when the end comes, I'll jump in with you until we stop again.
Right.
Because I felt bad stopping progress to get pictures of all the rigs.
Yeah.
But when I didn't, like, I only got the first 8, and then I had to run back to us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I could sit there for the entire train and get a picture of everybody's rig, I'd feel a lot better.
Right.
You know, because
Either that or we need to mount a custom race seat or something to the back of the ZJ.
Well, even that, though, like, I want to get the guy behind us.
Yeah, well, they can pass us or something.
Right, but if I could have stopped, I think
I was sacrificing. Martin was cringing. I was sacrificing the Milestars out in the weeds,
Yeah.
so you could get the shot.
I feel bad for like number 10 because he would see me set up and get ready to, and I'd like take off running to get back to the Jeep because I was running out. I didn't want to be the guy stopping progress.
Right. Well, so it was kind of difficult for me because I didn't know how far I had to stop.
Yeah.
Like, where do I stop? Like, I'm like, do you guys like go past me? Because
Right, and that's the same thing. Like, do we start working that out? Like,
I don't
hey,
want to have to run like a mile to get back to me.
let the ZJ camera car pass so they can get to the front and get everybody's photo.
Yeah.
But I did get some pretty rad shots hanging out the side of the ZJ, getting thumped with branches and
That was one time,
mud.
and I tried to warn you.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, I put the Mission Impossible theme to it on the story.
I did. That was awesome. I was like, oh, that's so rad.
And I was like, yeah, well,
That's
you
how
got
it felt.
to do what you got to do to get the shot. People came up to the Jeep and were like, hey, does he have like a harness in here? I was like, no, man, but if you put your foot under the dash, the ZJ blower motor fits your foot just right.
Like, Brett was wedged in there so tight. I was like, looking, I'm like, oh, what do I do? Do I like grab it? Like, I feel like if I grabbed your foot, like that's not going to help. It's
Right.
just going to direct you underneath
The
tire.
truck. And I was cool with it until I saw both Rancho Jeeps come side by side, and I'm like, dude, I'm getting eaten by patties.
Yeah, there's no way to avoid. Like, they covered all the ground.
Yeah, all the
tires.
ground. I'm like,
Yeah.
I could fall and dodge one, but two?
Ooh, that's going to be tough. Yeah. And then you got the axle housing. Which way do you go?
Yeah.
Which way do you go?
Over or smushed? How do you want it? How do you want it?
Dude, you take a 44 housing to the dome. That's
I think I'd rather take a tire.
not good. Yeah. You're not going to quickly get flat enough to clear that.
No, especially have to realize I hit and all my air went away and I couldn't move.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be gnarly.
But, you got to do what you got to do for the shots.
Sacrifice the body.
I think
Or the abs.
It might be smarter just to put a GoPro on the tailgate next time.
Probably. We could probably do that.
But yeah, I mean, that was like some of the shots, some places that we were at were just so great. Like with the little bridge we crossed over the river, was perfect for shots because it looks cool. It looks like you're out in the middle of nowhere. And those trees,
we kind of were.
Yeah, those trees were rad. And that was a shorter day of driving.
Right.
Because that day we ended up going to we went to Mount Arvin that day, which is the highest point in Michigan.
Yeah.
Which we went to. So we came out of the woods after Lake and Inland, which that's
a legit kind of trek to get up there.
Yeah. We stopped at a lookout for a minute.
Yep.
And then hung out there. And then they're like, okay, we're going to go see this one more thing. And we trekked over to Mount Arvin, which is the highest point in Michigan.
Yeah.
At like 1970 or something like that, 1970 feet. It's not like crazy mountain high, but for Michigan, it is what it is. We're flatlanders.
Yeah.
And like you said, some of it was very much like, it reminded me of that show, like Moonshiners, like climbing the side of the mountain. There's like streams going across the road.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes.
And you're like switchbacks.
Yep.
And you're like kind of like, you're like, how this is like the longest left turn ever. Where are we going?
You're going around the mountains, huh?
All right. Yeah.
You got up there, saw what there was to see.
Yeah.
Which wasn't really much, honestly. I mean, it was
mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes
live up there.
Due to the nature of Michigan being so wooded.
Yeah.
Once you get to the actual highest point, you're there, but there's nothing to see other than the marker. It's like a geological marker there.
Yeah.
At the second highest point, if you walk down a little bit, there's a really nice outlook, an overview.
The second highest point.
Which,
like 3 feet down.
Which I wanted to mark on my GPS I think take the wife up there in the fall.
That was a cool view.
That'd be a great view.
Fall
in
colors would be rad.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, that'd be super rad. And that was awesome. It's the first time I'd been there. So, and that's saying saying something because I do a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah.
And it was actually one of my bucket list, if you will. Like, Logan's. It's on my on my Google Maps.
His mind must have just been blown.
Oh.
I was unfortunate not to see that, but I'm sure he was just losing his mind.
It was one of my places
like,
to go.
I'm on top of a mountain.
Yeah. It was on my places to go on Google Maps, so I could check that one off as places I've been.
Oh, man, you know what would have been awesome? If we could make it up there in the winter, and we need to dress Logan up like he just conquered Everest.
Give him a flag, like an EVO Expedition Vehicles flag. Planet. Well, that's the other problem, though. Is a lot of those roads are off limits in the winter. They turn into snowmobile trails.
Well, we got to get them up there in a snowmobile or a Sherpa, whatever we got to do. Let's make it happen.
Let's make this happen. So that was super rad. Just overall, dude, it was like a great day. And I think some of the stuff is, to me, is getting out of order. Because we did
I'm
that.
sure we're out of order at some point.
We did that.
I think we're doing it right.
Other overlook that day, too. We overlooked the bay.
Man, we did so much stuff. It was so awesome.
Yeah. And we had a potty there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That was lined up.
Yes. There was a lot of, yeah.
A lot of, it was a one-holder like latrine, but it was way better than going to the woods.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, I mean, we kind of just worked back to camp we had dinner.
Yeah, we
was awesome at
worked
that
back
diner.
to was it the Baraga Drive-In or
Yeah.
Baraga Drive-In?
Which was awesome. Apparently, the ZJ's in a prom photo.
It is. Yeah.
But that was pretty awesome.
And they were great. Like, apparently they called and said, hey, dude, we're coming up. And the guy was like, all right, cool. And then they called again, like, no, for real, we're on our way. And the guy was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, got extra staff and extra help.
Yeah. And
dude, the food was awesome.
I don't know if it applies to your
Hunger to taste ratio?
or if it's just that good, but that was an amazing
That was good.
hamburger.
No, it was good because I wasn't that hungry.
I feel bad. I still, if anybody from that place listens to the show, I doubt it, but I apologize to the blind girl
Oh,
who I thought killed. I told her she was going to kill you.
yeah, because what Ken ordered a Reese's Pieces
Peanut butter shake, which is
shake.
amazing. We
Yeah,
both did.
But
Pete and I both did.
I'm not a fan of peanut butter for the flavor.
Yeah.
But you told her that I had a peanut allergy and I had to like EpiPen myself.
Because she comes in, she goes, I think this is vanilla, and I think this is peanut butter. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll wait for me. I guess F me then, right?
Right.
Because at this
and
point,
they were both.
yeah. And then she gives it to you, take a sip, and you go, nope, this is peanut butter. And
I'm
she
like,
goes walking back. I'm like, yeah, do you have an EpiPen?
Do you have an EpiPen? He's allergic to peanuts and his tongue is swelling. What? Oh my God.
Yeah, sorry, I apologize. I thought it was hilarious at the time, but
In hindsight, putting you into panic mode probably wasn't.
especially when, like, dude, she was overwhelmed by the fact that, like, I mean, what, 40 hungry people just showed up?
Yeah, like now.
Like, we're hungry now. We stink. We're gross.
Yeah.
We'd like food.
And I believe Ace took care
Ace took care of the bill,
of
which
that
was
one on that one.
awesome.
Yeah, that was super rad.
Shout out to those guys for the amazing hamburger.
Yeah, Adam and Nick, they're awesome.
And they're going to be on the show, too, I think, at some point.
Yeah, reached out to them, and that's actually the campground. You know, we got back to camp and reached out to them, and yeah.
But what we do more importantly than that.
What's that? What
That-
you got?
So we stopped on the way to dinner. We broke off from the pack.
Oh, this was a genius move.
Went to Dollar General. I was like, I'm going to go in and buy 4 towels and 4 bars of soap.
And I'm going to air up my tire.
Yeah.
Because it was still leaking at that point.
So I ran in and got, 4 towels and 4 bars of soap and a snack. Came back out and went to dinner.
Yeah. And then we went to the campground, and we went straight to the showers.
Yeah, we were the first ones to take a hot
Not
shower.
together.
Not together.
Not that would be a problem, but not
Yeah,
together.
at that point, I wouldn't have cared, bro.
Like 8th grade gym. No one cares.
Yep. Yeah, so I went out there and I was like, hey, Ken, Comanche man, I got towels and soap. They're like, what? Like, I got 4
Again,
of them. Yeah.
you got the currency.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll trade you whatever you want.
Yeah. What do you want for a towel? I just want to take a shower.
I've got 1,200 of these worthless pieces of paper.
Yeah, dude, my beard was like crunchy from the dust. It was like,
It was gritty.
It was-
Everything was so
yeah.
gritty.
so,
You like take a shower, you look down, like, that's coming off me. I held all that.
and I rushed
It's like
the
a
shower,
yard of topsoil.
like figuring somebody else was in line.
Yeah.
So I was like the first one done. Or I think you were maybe the first one done. And I came
Yeah,
out,
yeah, I was like,
everybody else is still in there. I was like, well, if I had known that, I stayed there long.
Was there like a timer on yours? Because I feel like all of a sudden it got cold, and then I had like reset it and it was hot again.
mine, I think somebody did something because mine
Okay.
shut off like
Yeah,
like
it got
stuttered.
like cold all of a sudden. I'm like, what the heck? Is there's like a timer on this thing?
I
It's
don't
like,
know if everybody
it just
went,
gives you the ice cold water, like you're done.
I don't know if they all went to the toilet at the same time and flushed toilets,
That could be.
but
Like, what just happened?
that shower was amazing.
Best shower ever.
Yes,
Top 10 in my life, probably.
probably. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that was like I said. Then after that, we set up the camp, and it was a good day of
That was a good night.
just
because
networking.
We networked, kind of wrapped up those secured those little friendships and little like.
because
hey,
we knew we had
you
a
know,
bail
people.
in the morning.
Yeah, I was unfortunate because we missed out on another day.
The last day looked awesome.
It did.
But that would have
So
put us another 2 hours past in the ZJ on the
I
highway.
was already stressing the 4-hour highway ride on the expressway because I didn't even know what it was going to do at that point.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be right back to day one. Luckily, the janky links must have somehow aligned-ish, but Big Girl still had an obsession with lumber trucks.
Wanted a lumber truck bad.
Anytime a lumber truck was heading directly at us, oncoming traffic, she's like, I feel like veering left.
Yeah, hard. And I couldn't stay awake for whatever reason on the way home.
Dude,
so.
you kept passing out and then probably waking up at the worst moments, which would be when it was like, it would be stable for a longest time. Like, thank you. Thank you. I'm like, finally, my arms can relax. Blood flow can go to my hands again. And all of a sudden, she's like, nah, I feel like going left.
Psych.
Let's go right now. Like, oh, God. And it was usually when the biggest, heaviest, we're going to die moment was about to happen.
Yeah.
It was like, let's get unstable.
And shout out, we forgot this too. Shout out to the Torq-Masters crew for all the wood, first off.
Oh, they did hook us up.
And
Torq-Masters is huge.
And as Cora described it, a bougie s'mores bar.
Yeah.
Did you have any of those bougie s'mores?
I didn't. I missed out.
You missed out?
I was hanging out with Nick at Ace. We were talking about a bunch of stuff.
So like all the
I
people
was talking about the Ace Engineering guys.
all the people there were super rad, but Torq-Masters had a puppy and marshmallows, so that's where I was at.
Torq-Masters did have the puppy and marshmallows, and then Ace, and then I talked to Mike from Rancho and guy from Unlimited. Like
That was funny
it was
because
awesome.
I talked to the Gausses
Yep.
and the Shoemakers from Unlimited Offroad.
Yeah, I talked to them.
They had like an adult camp.
They did.
They had like we're quiet over here, like.
Yep.
We got our coffee pot set up for the morning.
Yep.
Like we're going to bed early.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And
okay.
we're gonna pop the cooler. We're gonna slam a monster. We're hitting the road.
Yeah. So I hung out with Torq-Masters for a while. Talked about all her super truck she has, like a F550 on like 42s.
I know. I saw a picture of that. She's rad.
And then I was like,
I
dude,
can't wait to get them on the show. I want to hear about all that.
you got the big marshmallows? Like this is about to go down over here. And then my beard got all messed up again because I got marshmallow on it.
I saw a picture of some people enjoying that.
Yeah, it was delicious.
I unfortunately missed out on that, but
Well, you were also half a bottle of cherry whiskey in at that point.
yeah, yeah. I had. Yeah, my forearms had enough. I was trying to recover, knowing that I had a 4-hour.
I don't know if this is a
drive.
thing
What's the thing?
here in Michigan.
It
But
could be.
we need to find it. If it is, Cora had it from Torq-Masters, and
Is it like a s'more thing?
it was whiskey,
What?
but it was
Okay.
Rattlesnake Rosie's maple bacon bourbon.
What?
It tasted like drinking a waffle.
Really? Oh, that looks dangerous.
It was so good.
Come on now.
Yeah.
All right.
So add that to the list of stuff we have to find.
Yeah, because we polished off the 5th of Jack in those couple nights.
Yeah.
And two of the nights weren't really drinking. And then it was, the cherry whiskey, Traverse City cherry whiskey.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but it's delicious. If you want to sponsor us, we will
We will enjoy.
it. Yes.
So yeah, that was a great night. I mean, kind of just wrapping up. I watched Armin set up his I call it mission control, all his memory cards.
Because we were at a state campground which actually had power and all the amenities.
Yeah.
And watching everyone's like chargers and everything all plugged in, I was like, oh wow.
Except for PJ. PJ's
Yeah.
Silver Jeep had his Midland little power box dealie
Yeah.
and was loving that.
Yeah, that was pretty rad.
He set that up for like a epic IG photo though. He had like all the Midland.
The other big setup guy is Jeremy at
Oh.
New Holland Overland. That guy brings like a hotel everywhere
Yep.
he goes.
Yep. Shows up, sets
Yeah.
up, and you're like, oh, okay.
The only thing he was upset about is he only got like not on 37s.
Yeah. Well, none of the only one of the tacos is on big tires, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So the 2 of the 3 tacos were on like 33s.
Yeah. But he put out a post the other day about his truck. I told him I offered up a plasma cutter and a Sawzall. We could make 37s fit.
I put 40s on it.
And he said it would take more than that. I said, I got some black pipe laying around. We can extend the arms. So
Yeah, because I never even checked. What was the Offroad rig on? Was that 35s, 37s?
They were 37s. 37s and 37-inch Patagonias.
That looked rowdy.
They did.
Had a trail gear, 9-inch rear housing, had extended A-arms in the front.
Absolutely.
37-inch patties.
Yeah.
Rooftop tent, bed rack, chase lights.
Amazing truck.
Which apparently I never realized the importance of chase lights in the civilian world, like not being like a race car driver.
Until we were in a dust storm and couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, turn on your rear lights. I'm like, they're attached to my reverse light. Like, I didn't assume I would need to turn on back of like lights behind me.
I didn't think I would need chase lights. And now I need chase lights really bad.
But now we've upgraded.
Yeah. For you, I need chase lights too.
I got some. Right
Oh, do you? Okay, cool.
I got you, bro.
I forgot to mount them because they can't go on top.
I got you, bro.
Okay.
I got you.
I've been scouring the interwebs, like looking at different people's lights. Like, do I want Baja Designs? Do I want KC? Do I want Rigid?
Oh, you want name brand? I ain't got name brand.
I don't care as long as they're chase lights at this point.
They are a necessity.
Yeah, because
I've mentally included them into the CJ build.
Because I've been looking I looked before when we were in, I think from Moab or something. I thought they'd be cool to have. Mm-hmm. And then I got stuck in a really bad storm once. And I was like, dude, they'd be kind of cool to have behind us just so people know I'm like the 4-ways are okay, but chase lights would be chase lights.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for like
a driver who's like, why is there a plow truck ahead of me?
Who cares? Don't hit me.
As long as they don't hit me, I guess it's fine. Yeah.
I've been looking for like a 10-inch one. I don't need a 24-inch one.
Yeah.
There's no place to put them on the back of a JK.
Right.
Then I'm like, I should get some for the wife's truck too. That'd be super rad.
Everyone needs chase lights. It should be a DOT requirement.
Yeah, now it's a DOT requirement. Like and then some of the guys though, like Jeremy's got like chase spotlights, and I'm like, bro, we're out of the dust. You're cooking my retina. Stop.
I was the same. I'm like, I'm getting welder flash.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, Ace had some. I think Ace had my favorite ones.
Okay, yeah.
They're like nice amber. They weren't stupid bright.
Yeah, they had like the strobe ones on the side too.
Yeah, Ace had like
such a well built rig.
all the light. They had like I want to talk about this. They had a replacement for all the windows, and like the windows held stuff.
Yeah.
So like the side windows both held rattle packs.
Yep.
And flashy flashlights.
Uh-huh.
And the back window held their traction boards, and it was I don't know what it was, polyethylene or some kind of plastic. And he's like, yeah.
Get with them on that.
He's like, we just threw it together for this. I'm like, you just did what?
Yeah.
Because I'm always worried about shattering a window in that thing.
Yep.
And if I could avoid that and still have a place to mount something, that'd be super rad.
Those guys could very well be your guys because they have really nice setups. And
my only sadness, I'd lose all my stickers.
It's true. We can get you new stickers.
Give me new stickers.
I usually have a few laying around.
Dear Milestar, may I please have a sticker?
I need more stickers.
Because I had changed around my build, and now the stickers are gone.
It's true.
We got Ken's right there, so we're good.
We got a few of them.
Yeah.
We got a collection going.
Yeah.
We love stickers. Send us stickers.
Put you on the desk if you're cool.
We'll put you on the desk if you're cool.
Or maybe they'll start like a wall back here, maybe.
Yeah. We could do that. That'd be kind of rad. I love stickers. I don't know why. It's an obsession from a kid.
Just get like a piece of plexiglass so we can like save them.
Yeah, good. So that about wrapped it up. And then we had a long drive home where we almost died. Mm-hmm. And we got it back on the trailer. And a long drive home where we didn't almost die.
It was smooth. It sounds like day 3 of wheeling was awesome. They went to Lake in the Clouds, which is amazing. Unfortunately, but fortunately, like the photographer and me was really jealous of the fog because they were like in the fog and it was like rolling down the mountain. It looked super epic. The tourist in me would have been mad I couldn't see the lake in the clouds, which is the whole point of going to Lake in the Clouds. But it seemed like they had a really good time. Went to some old mining towns. I was super impressed with how prepared the trail guides were with local history. Yeah. Because like we were driving through and they're like, yeah, this area was won from this war and this is from this mining thing.
Yes.
And
I got to give it to Martin from California.
Yeah.
It's like he was reading right from like the encyclopedia
of Michigan. Yeah.
But he must have had it memorized at some point. He had all the info.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
And as you're going through it, it's not just like, yeah, this is Michigan's cool. It's like, oh, this tree right here was.
He bought the Uper guidebook,
which he left out in the rain and had to throw away. But he had his Uperisms down.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah,
he knew. He was a little shocked by some things that weren't in the guidebook that we had to fill him in on.
Yep.
But
If you get invited to one of these, if you can get lucky enough to get invited, because it sounds like this is going to be a thing. Because Expedition 1, XPDN1, was in like the Arizona desert or something, or California desert.
Yeah.
XPDN2 is us in the UP.
Which is rad. I think it's awesome that it's like finally some of these big companies are taking notice and like, let's go to Michigan. Let's go to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and let's explore because it's dude, it's awesome.
It's as close as you get to untouched in this area. I mean, it's not like Alaska, but it's still there's some wild to it.
It's not Alaska, but it's like it's obtainable.
Right.
You know, because if we would have gone to Alaska, dude, I mean, that's
how much to ship a truck to Alaska? Yeah,
commitment.
Right.
You know.
But this was there's still some unchained, some wild up there, which is awesome.
Yes.
And it was great that they were here. It's great that they say they're the official tire adventure, and I can see why. I mean, if that's
should we start going into that?
Do you want time? You want to do a whole other episode on it?
I mean, I don't know. We got 20 minutes.
I'm down. I mean, your world, bro.
Well, it's our world. Okay, we share this together.
Let's talk about.
We can share it for another episode. You want to talk about all the equipment and everything we used and abused in another episode? I don't know if we can. Let's do it right now.
Do it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's start with shout out to Milestar Tires.
Shout out to Milestar Tires. Martin was awesome. Like I said, I paid for them. They're my tires.
Yeah. Not sponsored, not freebies.
Not freebies. And man, I don't know how else to say it. When they first came out, I don't know that I was 100% like, wow, that's a rad tire.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I kind of was thrown off by, I'm like, who is this tire coming out of nowhere?
Right.
You know, and they got a lot of like, man, it was like it almost seemed like fake publicity or something. There was something about it I wasn't sold on. You know, it wasn't your classics, right? Your OG brands.
Right.
You know, so it kind of came out of left field. So I was a little like.
Well, they came out with the 20th century marketing, is based off social media.
But in an odd way.
Yeah, not based off wins,
right?
Not based off.
It wasn't like, hey, oh my God, so and so who just won King of the Hammers, he's running Patagonia. No, It was like, dude who kind of has some good following,
has patties,
like, dude, he loves them. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird,
right?
You know, like why does this guy have them, and why is he in love with them? Like, and then you're like, oh man, they must have he must have won a set.
Yeah, they're in love with them because they were free, right?
Right. That's the common. I think that's the common perception.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, you just anything free, you love it, right?
Right.
And so that was kind of a reason why we had that agreement, right? Like why I paid money for them. And dude, I'm impressed.
For sure.
Just throwing it out there. That first mud hole we went into, I'm like, holy shit, I'm still in 2-wheel drive.
Right.
Like these things are cleaning out well.
And you have no power.
And I really don't have power. But I mean, they're a little bit lighter. So I'm trying to all right, well, maybe it's just because they're a little lighter, right? So I'm getting a little more power out of it. Maybe it's just because, I'm trying to play it off in my head. I'm like, but any just little mud puddle we went, I mean, let's be real. We had our windows down.
Yeah.
Arms are covered because those things were, just not even spinning them, right? Just
cleaning.
Just chunks of mud flying past as if I was on the throttle. I'm like, we're just driving normal.
Yeah. And same, like,
really well.
I wanted not to like them, like, a lot. I didn't get to drive them, but I wanted not to like them just because, like you said, some of the marketing was kind of weird to me. And it maybe just because it wasn't traditional marketing, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, when you see some of the people that have them, you're like, I know why you have them or whatever. You have them because you have 80 million followers.
Yeah.
But then when we got the call and you're like, hey, dude, I just bought some. And I was like, okay, well, at least we can, if we want to hate on them, we can.
Yeah.
I was impressed with them for a couple reasons. From the passenger seat and from the photos, they cleaned well.
Yeah.
They were even aired down at 15.
We went up some things that past experience, I don't think we would have maybe made it up as
easily.
As easily.
Yeah.
Like I was surprised the things that it was just like grabbing and going up. And I'm trying not to be like, oh, he's full of shit. You know what I mean? Like he got some tires and he's just gloating on them. I'm really not. Like they were seriously impressive. And I think the on-road manners that whole like, I didn't buy that hype either.
It rides on the center
it
lug.
rides on the center, and it's so much smoother, and you don't get this and that. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, right? Like,
So we did a fair
I
amount of
get it.
highway miles on an aired down 37-inch mud tire, and it was still quiet,
It really was.
and it rode well.
It really was.
And I've run some big name tires. I mean, I've been wheeling since I was 16. I mean, 22 years of wheeling.
Yep.
I've run some big name tires that were loud, that you feel when they're aired down. What got me was we climbed up this one hill, and it's hard. We were on Mount Arvon.
Is it that little like hard left?
Little hard right,
Yeah.
and there was no lateral
crazy.
slide.
Yes.
The truck just bit.
I thought the same thing, and it was interesting. We had that conversation with Martin that night about it, and about how the way the tire grips and cuts, and like the way it transitions to each tread block. I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of science behind this that I didn't even realize. I think we've had this conversation before about tires, where it's like, I kind of look for a certain pattern, and it kind of has to.
The pattern's got to appeal to my manliness.
Yeah, it's kind of got to appeal to me, and to be honest, it wasn't one of those tires that initially appealed to me.
Yeah.
And now that I've run them, I've been on them, it's rapidly growing on me. And I would say stay tuned, as I'm going to keep them on there. I'm going to keep running them, and we'll see how it progresses. But
yeah, so the first
as of
400
right now-
miles, I mean, I don't have Milestars. I didn't buy any.
Yeah.
I'm not asking them to send me any. If
Yeah.
I decide to buy some, I'll buy some.
Yeah.
But the first 400 miles as a passenger, I was impressed with some of the stuff that. And the granted, like we said, this isn't Arkansas mud bogging. This isn't slick rock. This isn't 8 inches of snow.
I think they were a really good tire for the event we had.
And let's
was
talk.
A mix of a lot of everything.
We started off on concrete.
Yes.
Went across a metal graded bridge.
Isn't it like one of the biggest?
It's like I think the longest suspension bridge. But
Right.
we did it like
second
on the
only to what the Golden Gate. or
Yeah, we
something.
did it
It's
on
crazy. Yeah, like
the
it's
grate.
legit.
on mud tires.
Yeah.
And it wasn't any squirrelier than it's supposed
Yeah.
to be, not considering the fat to your Jeep.
Yeah.
We did miles of dusty fire roads. We did mud, gravel. I mean, the only time that we actually had any issues that I can think of was that one mud puddle you hit, that one mud bog in two-wheel drive when you sunk it and had to back out and put it back and forth.
I thought it was sunk.
Yeah.
I seriously, like, when it sank, I was like, oh, God, I'm
Because
done.
that front 37 was gone.
I know. I was like, I'm done. This is it. I'm done. Right? And I threw it in four-wheel drive, and it just backed out like nothing.
Yep.
And I was like, okay. All right.
I see you.
I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, I got Jim Norman over there with the cameras. I got to put on show now.
Right.
And, oh, dude, I was like, oh, man, maybe this wasn't that deep. Like, when I went through it, I was like, oh, I must have just found a hole or something.
Right.
But
Pictures
the
don't
pictures don't lie. It was slinging. That was fun.
So it was that and the sand pit you got like slowed down in. You went in and stopped and we sunk.
But that sand pit, I was still in two-wheel drive.
Right.
And I thought for sure, I'm like, oh, it's eventually forward momentum's going to stop and downward momentum's going to begin. But it kept moving around. So that's one of the things I want to do this summer is I want to take it to Silver Lake and I want to try them out in the sand.
And see what they do.
Because, you got those tires that did get to China.
Yep.
And you got ones that work well. So I'm curious to see how they perform in sand. I've heard good things about them. But again, I'm like, yeah, I've kind of like downplay those reviews. Like, oh, you got the tire. You
And like you said, this is going to be, I think, an ongoing, like for us. Like if we go on another run, we take my Jeep, I might say, I got rims, put those on my rims, and I'll
swap them out. We can do that.
Because we're talking, we got Silver Lake coming up.
Yeah.
We might have DOA or Drummond again. Check it out on slick, nasty rocks.
Yeah.
And then Cabin Fever will be a tail in the snow.
Yeah.
To see how they do in that. And then I'm confident now in saying it's a good tire. I feel a lot better about it saying it's a good tire now.
I'm wearing the hat. I'm wearing the hat proudly. I'm like,
I'd like to see it. Talk to us in a year.
on that one.
Talk to us in a year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in a year we'll talk more about them. We'll do another tire episode, and it'll definitely be one of the ones that I think we talk about.
Because let's be real. We're going to compare it to what we run now, and I run KM3s.
Yep.
And you're running SSRs, or were until now. Yeah. And I'm coming from KM3s, BFG all-terrains, KM2s, regular BFGs.
Yep.
I've had Swampers in the past, Duratracs. So I've run a lot of
Goodyears. I run a lot of tires.
And these are impressive.
They didn't let me down.
Yeah. and like you said, coming into it, I had an open mind, but I wanted not to like them. Like you said, like it was.
I agree. You know what I mean? I was like, there's kind of like there was a stigma about them.
Yeah. And my thought was,
In
well,
my mind,
it's Jay's money,
personally.
not mine.
You know, and like I said, in all fairness, right? I didn't. Martin did help me out. I didn't pay full price
MSRP,
for him,
right?
Right. He cut me a deal, and I greatly appreciate that. And like I said, I like that because it gave us the freedom to fully,
Yep.
like, hey, we own these. So if I say that, man, this is complete crap tire, I can do that, right?
Right.
I paid for them. But I can't. I honestly can't.
Right.
I honestly like them.
And very similar boat. Like I said, I haven't driven them, but I've seen enough. I think now I have enough to make an informed decision. Because I've seen guys run them in Moab, but I've seen bald ATs do really well in Moab too, because they just stick.
Yeah.
But I've seen guys run them in Moab now when we were there. I've seen guys run them at AOAA when I was out there for the Jeep Jamboree.
Yeah.
They didn't get all cut up in the rocks. They bit well. They did well. And now I've run them with you here in Michigan in our sand and our mud.
Yeah.
And I can't say that they're bad. They're an impressive tire so far. Like, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And hate me if you want, whatever.
But you can send us all the hate mail you want, but
I can only tell the truth. So
absolutely. I think yeah. And then I honestly I think talking to Martin, and I'm like, I was blown away by the science that went into him
right.
and everything like that. I think that was that also sold me. It was like, okay, this isn't just like
You're from the show me state. Like,
yeah,
let me see
right,
why.
Absolutely. This isn't just some knockoff tire that just hopped into the market and did some
Right.
great marketing, wazzle dazzle, and got in there. Like, no, you came in legit, and you're legit.
And they've got updates coming.
And they got some updates coming, which I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's rad.
Yeah. Super. Like I said, I hate to sound like that fanboy, but I'm impressed.
Right. I'm not, oh my God, this is the best tire ever. You got to have this tire. If you don't, you're losing out.
Right.
I'm saying,
You should
my honest opinion, it's a good tire. If you're looking at them right now, I would consider it.
Yeah, if you're looking for an off-road capable tire, especially on like a daily,
Yeah.
something you're going to daily drive that you want performance out of,
I think that would be perfect.
it's a great tire. I mean, we're not comparing them to like boggers.
Everything, right. There's a specialty tire for
Right.
everything, right? You're not going to be right. It's not going to compete with a competition sticky,
Right.
and it's not,
They have
it's
those.
Alabama, black mud down south, probably not going to do as well as a bogger.
Right.
But I'm saying it's a legitimate tire to consider,
Yeah.
especially for an all-around a daily driven rig where
Yeah.
you still need a little bit of mud terrain. For what we did, it was an ideal tire.
Yep, for sure.
Which was 400 miles off road, 200 miles the first day,
Yeah.
on road, crossing a bridge,
Wet pavement, dry
wet
pavement,
dry pavement,
mud.
I've heard very good things about them in snow.
Yeah.
I would like to try that out myself, because I was very impressed with what I had previously in the snow.
Right.
So to me, that's a good comparison because that's what we deal with a lot here. I would like to do a good comparison in the sand because what I had previously before didn't seem to work very well, robbed a lot of power from me. Also had to do a lot with the weight.
Right.
So we will definitely give updates as far as that goes. But as of right now,
So like I get back to this real quick. If you get invited to one of these, if you hear about one of these, they're going to be going more. It sounds like I know where the next one's at. I don't know if it's a secret or not, so I'm not going to put it out there. But if you can get invited.
can we make it? Are we gonna go?
I don't know if we were invited or not. Just show up.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you could get invited to one of these, check it out. All the partners were amazing. It's because they were handpicked for this event. So ours were mostly Michigan based.
I really liked all the partners in this event.
Yep.
They were such a good man. It was such a good mix. And it was like, yeah, I was like anyone in the off-road world could be here,
Yeah.
and fit in.
Yeah, it was great, and it was a great event. If you get invited, do it. Don't hesitate. Call in sick to work, whatever you got to do. It was a great event. And make sure you check out the hashtag XPDN2.
Bam.
Check that out. Like some of the photos. See what you think. If you have any questions realistic questions about what we think about the Milestar Patagonia, hit us up.
Milestar Patagonia, Rancho Shocks.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of the sponsors. We're gonna try and get them on the show.
We'll have Ace and Torq-Masters both on the show.
Absolutely, for sure. Those, look forward to those. And anyone else. I mean, we're just gonna keep plugging along, and that was great. I really feel fortunate for.
Look for a write-up from me in Northology magazine.
Jim's a writer, y'all.
So I'll be in Northology. I've sent photos as well to Trails, so it might be in my stuff might be in Trails magazine as well, which is super rad. So there'll be write-ups there as well. If you have any questions, check them out. Let us know. I think that's about all we got.
I think that's it. I think that wraps it up, and it was a great time. And thanks to all. And yeah, I think we can wrap it up.
Hit the music.
We're hitting the
Dun.
We're fading out. We gone.